I think poor old iPad's on its last legs. Oh, wow. No, today I was busy again going through crates of stuff. Some I have forgotten. I have stuff. But anyway, my fun problem, and it's a lot of fun and it's a lot of history. So, organization, crate per day, 2 crates, 3 crates a day, I guess so. But in the previous video, you saw me with 1 crate open, organization. So, decided to pull out something called a 1861 Snyder Enfield carbine. Okay, British 5.77 caliber, mint condition actually, and I forgot I have many of these I bought a long time ago as a kid, I believe. Yeah, as a kid and other times. So it's a breech loader. Safety position, opens like so. Kind of almost like a trapdoor Springfield Army rifle. This is a British Army rifle. You put your bullet in there, or shell. You close it like so. I guess you can see that. Locks in place. Pull the full cock. At full cock, then you, of course, aim and at your target, or whatever you want to do. Pull trigger, and this goes down. It's a firing pin that goes all the way through to the primer of the bullet. I thought I'd pull it out and put it in a more open space I have. It's got a regiment stamp on it. And we can't quite read that, but it's... I have to take a photograph of it. A Navy? No, I don't think so. The lighting in here is horrific. So 1865. Okay. Oh, yeah, I would have to take a photograph of it or use a magnifying lens to read that to you. It's case hardened, locks. The other ones I have look like they came out of the factory. I was on a buying spree in 2000 and before that and after that too. And you buy them and you look at them, oil them, clean them up, put them away. You forget about them. So I forgot about maybe many hundreds. What else is on here? Any other cartouche? It's a stamp, British stamp at the very base. Proof marks. And what's our serial number here? Be on the top. Yeah, it is. Okay, let's check the serial number. Wipe off the Vaseline. All these guns are in Vaseline, by the way. It's got proof marks on top. Okay. It'll take me a while to probably find cereal, usually in the barrels or other places as well. But so the lighting in here is not that good, unfortunately. Okay, so that's that one. Sometimes it's pushed into the stock serial numbers. Okay, we already read that. Must be a regiment. Clean the Vaseline off and bring it up that way as well. So we put this fellow over here. Actually, it's not really that good handling guns with hands. Always wipe them clean if you treasure your guns. So lay it down here. All right. I'll put them away later. This is a frame and barrel for Remington Rolling Block. It caught my eye. It's got some unusual stamps on it, almost like Arabia. I have many of these complete, that is. These are just spare parts, but it's on the back is Arabian as well. Manufactured in the United States, maybe overseas, I believe. Yes, many factories, different calibers. This one's got a bayonet lug system on the side here. But it's parts and pieces. You find that stuff and that kind of thing. So, yeah, a question was brought up when I started collecting when I was about 10. The first was a 303 British Ross rifle, and number 2 was a double-barrel 12-gauge shotgun. In those days, it was not a hassle to get any of those things. My dad bought them for me, and then later on, I visited a gentleman behind our house in Edgemont Village, Tom Bongalis, and I bought, and I got into the machine guns. You can buy deactivated ones or fully auto. It just has to be registered in those days. And I bought them, and I had a huge collection of machine guns. 50 caliber Brownings, Berettas, Sten and Brenns, and so on and so forth. Lewis machine guns, 303. All nice working order. Some were deactivated, some were not. It didn't matter to me either too much, one way or the other, but anyway. I got into pistols, and again, those in Canada in those days had to be registered. And then the victim of Trudeau's gun control, 1978, but I won all my cases, and all my firearms and cannons and artillery and pistols and machine guns were ordered returned, and compensation for me. So that's all in the newspaper stuff. So anyway, although I traveled to different countries, well, let's say I got a collection in Germany. Actually, I bought them up, went through the paperwork. And after a couple of years, it was time to return to Canada, and I had to do this one. Had to get rid of the ammunition, which I did do. I shot it all off in an abandoned property, so that's 1990 already. Wow. That's the German police. That upside down with it, or what? What are we looking for here? Oh, okay. I still have them. They're here too, in the collection of relics and things and other crazy stuff. Other firearms and situations require maybe different countries, like, the ATF. Check your luggage in and make sure it's all okay, and that's what they did here a long time ago. The ATF. Recent stuff with ATF is it's just titled Release and Receipt of Imported Firearms, Ammunition, and Implements of War. So that was a few years ago. Department of Justice, blah, blah, blah. What else? Anything else? Well, it's part of something here. Okay, so that's ATF, US people. That over there, where else do we go? This is Tracy Roberts. Transactions. Something about transactions, ATF. I got a whole pile of papers like this. Get them over the years. I mean, a huge amount, a huge file. Oh, this was dated when? July. Oh, July 1, 2017. License type 2 of dealer of firearms other than destructive devices. Business name Old Steel. That's interesting. License name Galilano Giovanni. Oh, yeah, okay. It's interesting. Anyway, as long as you follow the laws and regulations and paperwork and everything required, you're okay. So don't be an idiot. And it says firearms license, Canada. I still have the licenses. They're expired right now, but in those days, not too long ago, you could own, which I did, fully automatic machine guns. Not a problem. But nowadays, Canada has turned more and more into a communist country. It's kind of falling apart. What's this thing? So, and actor responsible, you got to get a psych test evaluation, which I had a few times. Safety and handling and any other issues. That and pay a fee. It's not that bad. Almost $45, something like that. And then you gotta take a course, which is very short. It can be very brief, and if they suspect you're doing okay and handling and manipulation of firearms, they'll pass you right away. So I got passed pretty quick. And before that, it was Federal Firearms Acquisition Certificate. Before that was registration of machine guns at the local police station. And that's basically it. In Canada, it was a lot freer than actually the USA, I think. But then Canada's gone down the hill. All right, some of the things. In other countries, in Switzerland, you can own anything, but they're very strict, of course, and you got to do a lot of training. Other countries, guns, other countries. Germany, well, yeah, that was okay. I owned a huge collection there. Austria, yeah, no problem. They're all in there now. It was interesting going through customs with all that stuff, but that's why I got the firearms unloaded tag. You got to sign it, inspect it, make hard cases, put your guns in. So I got all those guns. It was what year? I don't know if you could read what year it was, but it's 1998? No, 1990. 1991, I guess. You got to sign that, of course, and then I got a bunch of these tags because all the boxes were many different firearms, little 25 ACP automatic pistols, some of those actually. No problem, I just said I found them. I went through customs in Canada and USA and Germany, A-OK, no problem. So don't break the law, stay out of jail. Don't just, just don't be an idiot. Getting in trouble and it's not a good thing to do. Come on. Take the effort and do your homework and be a good person. A lot of people like AR-15s. I don't. Why? Because they're made out of aluminum and they're modern. I don't like that kind of stuff. So somebody offered me one. No, I would take a. What would I take? AK-47 instead. It's metal. Nice piece of engineering, or a Sten gun, Bren gun. The biggest machine guns I own, 50 calibers, BMG. Yeah, those are fun. I loaned a lot of those. Browning machine gun, BMG. M2, heavy barrel, HB meaning heavy barrel type. Also, I owned the M3s, which are aircraft Brownings with light barrels, steel light lined barrels, and air cooling systems on the outside, and even a water cooled one. It's kind of rare, it's kind of beat up, but I think I sold that to Triple B Auctions a long time ago. It's one of the most stupidest things I ever did, and I got railed many times by the gun collectors in Canada. You idiot! You idiot! It's true. Lewis machine guns and 50 caliber BMG made by Colt Firearms Company in mint condition. I don't want to think about it. I have done getting rid of stuff rather like really regret it later. But anyway, so some of my history on my interest in cannons and firearms, and that I don't do that much shooting. Not that interested in it, but it's enjoyable if you get to a good range and you can fire off what you want to fire. My God, in the old days I used to use my parents' backyard and it was not an issue. And I always had a backstop, so there'd be no danger of any projectile hitting somebody somewhere. People would come running over sometimes and, oh, we thought the furnace blew up. No, just me shooting off 303 British Enfield or a 4570 or a shotgun or something. My dad didn't care at all. He didn't mind. My mother loved it too. She'd come out and shoot them off too. But as times change, as we all know, media and politicians broadcast so much negative information about guns and things that it slowly changes the population's mind towards those things. So a kid, an ad for a kid with a toy pistol was not a big issue a long time ago. Today, it'd probably be a big issue because of the programming of politicians and media, which is quite interesting to study that in psychology. How people are manipulated into thinking things. It's used in the industry for selling things, food, products, and all that. You know, they go on until you really believe it. So, I'm sorry, there's always been mass shootings and all that kind of stuff's always been that. Mostly caused by drugs, and I think the U.S. has the highest crime rate, I think, of any country in the world, and the highest prison population in any country in the world, but oh well. So be it. But anyway, I don't want to get into all this political stuff right now. I love psychology and study it and study all the reactions and things that people use to convince a population to do things. So just be aware, if you turn your guns in, you're going to really regret it when you wake up and smell the coffee, which most of you probably don't. So that's my little spiel for today. The main thing is with guns and that, safety for yourself and to others. Don't be a jackass. It's a responsible device. Gotta handle it like it's always loaded. Just preferably keep it bolt open or breech block open or whatever it is, unlocked up. Nothing wrong with doing that. You can do it. I do it. I keep everything locked up under surveillance all the time as well in there. But they're all oiled up, greased up, and put away because for me it's I like just collecting them, and I will shoot them. Some of them, the ammunition's hard to get. Some of them, the ammunition's very expensive. Shooting a 50 Browning, somebody took a picture of me firing at my 50 Browning M3, and it rattle trap. I converted that one M3 to an M2 HB type Browning. With help from Mars Star of Canada, it's a gun shop. They got even more strict too. So Canada's only going down the hill at warp 9. They always start with the guns. Probably because they don't want to be confronted or what else these crazy people do. The alpha males that run countries or think they run them. I could definitely get rid of the guns. Get rid of this, get rid of that. Totally insane. But that's the topic today. I'm talking about firearms, my adventures with them. And the big fellas. I mean, I love cannons, always have. Biggest cannon I worked on that I owned was a 90 millimeter M1. I was going to say M4. No, 90 millimeter anti-aircraft gun I bought for $200 from Amex Salvage in North Vancouver. Amex was in Richmond, Canada. The gun was located at 103 Thunderbird Squadron at J.P. Fell Armory in North Vancouver, and they sold it to Amex Salvage for $200 to raise money. Sold their lovely cannon. I read about it in the newspaper. Somebody trying to take it apart, got killed doing so. I then went down and talked to the armory people and Amex Salvage, and they said, well, the situation is you can have it. We just can't. Please be careful, you can have it. So, yeah, I'm always careful. So I spent a couple of weeks taking it apart, dragged the parts back to my place. I should, the stupid thing, I do stupid things, so I should have gotten a tow truck or a crane truck and get the thing back over to Mrs. Murphy's and restore it. Instead, I'm taking it apart, carrying all these hundreds of pounds of parts back. You see some of the parts on BC TV News with Tony Parsons when I do my demonstration. I had one of the beautiful old Traverse mechanism mounted, and I'm leaning on it, talking to Alan Edwards. So you can check that out. Make sure I'm not fibbing. Do I fib? I don't think so. So, anyway, today's topic is on that stuff. So what else can I talk about? So after this little episode, I'll be back to radio stuff again. See, that's how I make my rounds. I do my rounds with machine tools. Oh, Navy stuff. Excuse me, you're tired. Navy stuff. Restoration, finding it. Machine tools, firearms, then back to radio stuff. So, always been that way. And other things. So my tooth issue is getting better. I had to take 2 Tylenol, 500 milligrams, so 1 gram of Tylenol at once. Kind of makes you sleepy, that's okay. And I got to sleep, no tooth pain. Also taking penicillin. Makes me feel good. Well, in the last 2 days, I've been feeling kind of yawning a lot. Do I have to do something? Or, it's just one of those things. Anyway, probably talked long enough. Acting not to. Today, not acting to. What is it? I can't hear you. Right. I could, but I'm not going to spoil the video right now. The video? Video? B-I-D-I-O. What a dingbat, John. Come on. Video. Silly man. I'll do my weird Marlene psychic profile or psych. Another video. I think this one just on one topic for Pete's sake. I feel so sleepy too. I could go to sleep again. Oh, I don't know what that means. I had so many dreams last night that maybe that's why I'm so tired today. Places I never seen before, but oh well. I'm gonna shut up and go. So that's some adventures for you. Didn't go yet. Sticky.